Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for showing up. I'm running. I was just getting here from San Antonio. For those of you that are listening, welcome to the show. I apologize, but I'm here. I made it. I was thinking I was going to stop at a Starbucks because the traffic in San Antonio, in Austin, was super packed. But anyways, it's a pleasure having you here, Christy. And I just want to start by saying I welcome everybody to the Breaking the Wealth Code with Wisdom. And our special topic today is the Freedom Formula, spirituality plus sales minus fear. So today you're going to learn to put the pieces together to live limitless. And we have with us Chris Atley. She is an award-winning coach and is known for her unique ability to identify obstacles that keep business owners stuck from generating massive wealth and freedom. Now, she helps people to shift blockages or blocks and shows them how to make the right decisions. So Chris is an author and has been an expert resource for various media outlets. And we welcome Chris to our show. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
I'm so glad. I apologize for having all this energy right here going, but that's how it is when
That's
you're
okay.
traveling.
Yeah, we made it. Gotta love technology. We can just log in and just get right to it. It's awesome.
I know we can do it from anywhere. Isn't that wonderful? So, anyways, I was
Yeah.
thinking I would stop at a Starbucks, and yet I didn't have to. Anyways, for those
Yeah.
of you that are listening, we have Chris, and we both met at a networking event. And as you know, I am the founder of Match Entrepreneurs. So I help you connect with other successful entrepreneurs that are making a difference, that are impacting, and that have secret nuggets to share so that you can move from where you are and be able to move to a different place in your life and in your business. So here she is today, and I'm really glad to have her here because, as you know, I am the founder of the largest networking organization and referring agency. So wherever you are and whatever you're searching for, I find them for you. And here I am with Chris, who will help you understand belief systems, which I think it's a big thing, Chris, that happens to many of us. We have these belief systems, we have these values that either trigger us or stop us from growing, right?
Absolutely. And every single thing stems back to those beliefs. So how we perceive and see the world and make decisions, it all comes back to the beliefs and the values and even the rules that we've set up for ourselves that in turn go back to the beliefs as well. So it's all related.
It does. It does. It impacts us in so many ways. Now, um, tell us, how did you start with your business and into this passion and going inwards to be able to work from within and then bringing out the clarity and that freedom? You know, I think you call it a freedom formula. But before we get there, I would like to know, tell our audience a little more about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So, well, my coaching journey, I guess, and my spiritual journey really started after my dad passed away. He passed away 2 months after our first child was born. So, and actually, my first child came on moving day. So it was an extra crazy time in my life, and so I was asking a lot of deeper questions like, why are we here? What happens when we die? All of these like really deep, profound kind of questions. And I ended up being led to the movie The Secret, which is really what changed everything for me. I just had no idea that our thoughts could create our own reality. And so I was just ecstatic to think all of my daydreaming could be put to good use. And one door started opening after another from there, and I just kept walking through. I kept saying yes to what was showing up in front of me, and I was led to coaching. So before that, I had been in the insurance industry for 10 years, handling really large property and liability claims. So something completely different. And so anyways, I ended up hearing about coaching, and I had been wanting to make a change, and I thought that sounded like such a great fit. So I went and hired my own coach, and then got certified and started my business. And, I was on this journey, and I still am. I think I'll always be growing and evolving, but I was on this journey to really figure out the spiritual laws and how to harness them, and to really create anything that we want to create. And that's where the limitless piece comes in. And I started realizing, started questioning, why doesn't this work all of the time? What's going on? And that's where my studying came in, on the belief work and the limiting beliefs, and really looking at what holds people back, and myself included. I was going through the same thing. So I was on a quest to dig out, what was holding me back. And it all came down to those limiting beliefs, and just, getting out of my own way, and that's how I became passionate to help other people do the same thing. That was kind of a long version of the answer.
No, but hey, it's important for people to really understand where we were and how we got here, because I think that we're all on this either spiritual journey or this journey in life, and we're here, but we started somewhere, and we had challenges in our lives that have made us grow and expand, and then here we are helping others and teaching others to be able to get to where they want to be.
It's so true, and just showing everyone that it's possible for them too. So I love what you just said, that we all started somewhere. And I was just going to add to what I was saying, that it's one thing to understand the spiritual laws on an intellectual level, because that's where I used to be. And it's quite another thing to actually be living them and experiencing them, and shifting those beliefs. And it really wasn't until I started doing some of that deeper work that my business, and learning about sales, so that's why I call it that freedom formula. It's all included, which we'll get to in a minute, I know. But it was really working on that deeper stuff that enabled me, to go from barely making $11,000 a year to over 6 figures in 10 months. And it was like, I finally was able to step in and really utilize, what was available.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think that our audience today, we want to welcome you for joining us and being here. And if not, if you're listening to the replay, it's important that you really listen to what she's going to be sharing, because we all have to figure out that secret. We all have a secret and how to get somewhere. And today Chris is going to talk about a freedom formula and why it is so important to use it. So do you want to begin there and begin sharing?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, so, this is basically what I have found to work. So, for me, doing my own growth and working with other entrepreneurs to help them get the results that they want. And I call it the freedom formula, because it's all about, living that freedom, being able to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want. And that's really part of my bigger why. And so the formula that I've discovered that really works is spirituality plus sales minus fear. So it's really about, using the spiritual laws and understanding them and just how powerful it is, plus mastering the sales process as well, and then eliminating the fear, or at least learning how to move through it, and then you can be unstoppable.
Wow. Okay. So what is that spiritual sales that you're talking about?
Yeah, so, well, to me, spiritual sales is really about coming from a place of service. So instead of trying to get something, or, you know, being salesy. And sales has such a bad reputation because we've all had that bad experience, right, with that sales person. I actually just had one last year with a car salesman, and I really didn't think that that existed anymore, so I was blown away when that happened to me. But you know, so we've all had that bad experience. And when I talk about spiritual sales, it's really about shifting that, not trying to get something. And of course, everyone has their own goals, but it's really about tuning in to the other person, asking questions, coming from a place of service, coming from a place of love, truly, deeply, how can I help this person move forward? And, you know, to me, that's what spiritual sales is all about.
So it's the service part and getting to know the person, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and just asking questions, you know, finding out where they're at. A lot of the work I do, and well, my work is all service-based, and usually that's the case for my clients too. But I think it still applies for products as well. You know, doing that needs analysis and finding out, you know, where the company or the person is at and what they're looking for, what their goals are, where they want to be, and what their obstacles are to getting there, and then is your service or product the right fit to help them achieve that? And, you know, those conversations alone can be so powerful. I've had so many people, you know, write in and just say that that conversation alone changed their life because it helped them get the clarity that they needed in order to move forward in the right direction. So to me, you know, whether or not they sign up to work with me or not, it doesn't really matter. I mean, of course, in terms of goals and things like that, it would going forward. But during that moment, it's really about helping that person have a breakthrough and, you know, move forward, whether that's, you know, working with me or, you know, just moving in the right direction.
And, you know, many times when you're hiring a coach, I think that it's very important for those of you that are out there. You're hiring a coach because this person is guiding you on how to get there. But here with Chris, it's going at a deeper level because you're going inside and you're tapping into the belief systems and breaking through some of those beliefs that might not serve you anymore. And be able to move to the next direction. So it's like having a you know, a manual, don't you think, Chris? I mean, because many times we're hoping that we were born with this manual, and we think we weren't born with it. But I think honestly we are. We are, because it's all about the brain, and if we understand the brain and we understand what we're thinking and we understand what we believe, and especially if we have people like you that help us tap into those beliefs, then we could reprogram it and do something different with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about gaining the awareness of, you know, why do we believe what we do, and then shifting it so that we can, you know, get out of our own way, essentially, and really tap into what's possible for us. And, you know, and be of service and come from a place of love and learn how to master that really in a sales situation too. To me, being spiritual really is about, you know, aligning ourselves with that higher power, which to me is that loving, powerful, creative energy. So, you know, if we can learn how to do that for other people too, then it's pretty amazing.
It is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a little PowerPoint that I put together here for us. So kind of be patient with me there, guys. Hold on. Give me a second. Where is it? Here it is.
Sure.
Hold on. Give me a second, please. And, you know, if you can tell us while I'm moving all this around, you know, how do business owners overcome their fears? And then I'll play with this while you're answering that question, and that way I don't keep everybody waiting for me.
Cool. Sure, that sounds great. Um, so how do they overcome their fears? Well, I think the first part is to recognize that fear, is just an illusion and it's not real. Really, what I was talking about actually, love, and is really the truth. Oh, I see it. That's awesome. You know, what really exists is love, which is truth. And so just knowing that, fear is really an illusion and it's not real. And, I know that lots of times people will say, well, what about my bills? They're real and that's scary. And what if I can't pay them? And it's not that the bills aren't real. They exist and you do need to have a plan and you do need to pay them and that sort of thing. But it's the fear around it that's not real, right? So if we can step into a place of trust and faith that, abundance is there for us and it's our birthright, and, going back to some of those spiritual laws, and that we're taken care of, then that is just such a different place to operate from. And that's how you're going to create those things, is really coming from that mind frame. So again, it's, about shifting your perspective. And the other great thing is, I'm seeing the slides. Those are great.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm trying to find where I put your, yeah.
I love it. That's so creative. And I would just say use the fear as a challenge. Like, nope, not going to let this stop me. I'm going to plow through. It's when we allow it to stop ourselves and it becomes debilitating that it's an issue. But if we can use it to plow through and move forward, then what you'll find is it will become less scary anyway. So acknowledging it, not trying just to get rid of it and pretend it's not there, just acknowledge it and keep moving forward and focusing on the solution, just not even giving it any attention. And you'll find that those feelings will lessen and lessen, making it easier to move through it.
I think that's very important, that I think everybody gets stuck in that fear-based where we're even fearful in investing on us. We see the obstacles, we know that we're stuck, and yet we're fearful that we're not going to have enough to get help. I mean, I think we have all been there at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And one thing that I've learned is that you can't be in fear and faith at the same time, right? So it's one or the other. So if you find yourself slipping into that place, just try to shift it as fast as you can. And like I was saying, you're not really going to be able to talk yourself out of it. Sometimes it might even take just getting up and doing something physical and, just again, acknowledge it and then get up and move around. And even if you have to dance or go for a walk in nature or whatever that looks like, just to shake up that energy and get back to a place of faith, because that's where you're going to see all of the opportunities that are literally, right there for you.
Wow. So how can people start attracting the resources they need now to begin helping them recreate what they want, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, I love the little guy with the key there. It really is like unlocking the safe to abundance,
Yeah.
And it's it really does come from standing in that place of faith. We don't want to being in that place of faith. And when you're in a higher vibration. So just going back to The Secret and some of the spiritual laws, the law of attraction, states that positive attracts positive and negative attracts negative. And I would even take it a step further and say that it's not so much that we're attracting something to us, it's already there for us. So when you really start studying the spiritual laws, I can't remember which law it is, but there is one law that states that, when you have a desire on the inside, so essentially, inside of you, then all of the resources on the outside are there to help it manifest. So you can't have a desire without the way already being there to manifest it.
Mm.
And one way, you know, so that's why the law of attraction, it's kind of misleading. It implies that you're going to attract something to you when really it's just about seeing what's already there for you. And when you can raise your own vibration and be positive and happy, you will literally see other things around you, opportunities or ideas that will come in that will bring you more happiness and positivity. So it's about staying positive and happy in order to literally see all of the resources and opportunities that are right there for you. And, you know, just to give everyone a really concrete example, one time in my business, you know, I was kind of going through a down time where I wasn't really doing very well and things weren't happening, and not to get too much into self-worth, but I really used to base my self-worth on my bank account, which is just another limiting belief. And it would start to trickle over to other areas of my life, and I would kind of feel depressed and down and out. And then, you know, I started feeling better. I don't remember what happened, but I started feeling better and things were flowing. And I literally saw in my inbox a connection to someone for booking a speaking engagement. Now, that email had been sitting in my inbox for months, and I knew what it was. I knew it was there, and I just always thought, well, someday I'll get to that. Who knows, you know, what's going to happen with that. And so when I was feeling better, I thought, oh, I should really do something with that. I took action, and honestly, that day, from one contact, I booked six speaking engagements.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so it's
Yay.
an example of the opportunity literally being right in front of your nose, and if you're not in the right energy, you just won't see it. So, you know, so staying positive and then taking inspired action. So it will always come in the form of an idea or an opportunity, and noticing those and taking inspired action. I say inspired action because it's, you know, something that's exciting and that's going to help you reach your goal, and taking action on it. And because it's not just going to fall into your lap, whatever it is that you want, but the resources will. So it's, you know, noticing those resources and staying in that right vibration so you can see what's there for you.
Exactly. I think that's just very, very important what you said there. I mean, it all begins with us. And I don't know if you've seen this, but I think it's important to bring it up because we're talking about belief systems. This is the neurological levels by Robert Dilts. And when you look at it, you see the belief systems is in number 4, and you have beliefs and values there for those of you that are listening out there. So in order to be able to reach your purpose or the I am and take your power and walk into your power, you need to be able to have a secured environment. Your behavior, your attitude needs to be there. Your skills need to be in place. And then, like I said, those beliefs, and like Chris is talking about, the beliefs and values are very, very important. And they're in the middle of who you are and how you're going to be identified. Now, there's critics out there that say that capability comes before beliefs, but in this case, it's in the middle. Let's just look at it there that way. And then it identifies who you are. Are you going to walk into your power? You know, and then become who you want to become? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. And that's how coaches out there like Chris, they help you reach your goals and be able to tap in to your capabilities or the behaviors. And because once you shift the belief systems, everything else will be manifested.
Yes. And, you know, can I just tell you that I use that exact progression. So I actually have an exercise that I do with my clients, and it's called a mission walk. And we're going through each of those levels in that order.
That's beautiful. And that's just great. Because, you know, it's important. A lot of people might be working on capabilities and they're working on their skills and they're studying and learning and learning. And it has nothing to do with their skills or capabilities. It has to do with their belief systems and their values. In fact, Chris, I was working with this lady, and money was not even in her hierarchy of values. She wanted to make money, but when I would ask her, she's like, well, I don't know. And I was like, well, how are you going to make the money if you don't even know? And it's not even there, right?
Right.
And it was like number 76 on her levels of, in her hierarchy of money and everything. But once they shifted, and that person kept working on capabilities the whole time. And there was no way.
Well, you know, that's what I found, you know, in the coaching industry, that a lot of coaches are working just in those top 3 levels, you know, environment, or the bottom 3, sorry, I'm going from the bottom to the top. The bottom 3, the environment, behaviors, and capabilities. And so it's like, okay, just go out and make a sales call. Well, sales brings up a whole lot of stuff for people. So many limiting beliefs come up, right? And until you address those and shift them, they're just not going to get the results they want. So a lot of the work I do is at the belief level, so that people then can carry out those strategies that will, you know, bring them the success they want.
Absolutely. And then you receive, you know, you achieve that self-actualization. You become who you want to become. Yeah. But you have to work on those beliefs and those values. So I think that's just awesome. I know I always kind of go beyond what you and I had conversed, but it's just because this is my passion: spirituality, belief systems, values. And I'm thinking, how are we going to make a difference? And I always love to share nuggets and bring experts like you to share their secret nuggets to our audience, so that our audience can always walk away with something that they can easily implement, or they can gain an understanding and say, I was working on the wrong thing, you know, or I need to shift this and do this different. So it's great that I have you here today. Now, what does it mean to have like a limitless belief?
Yeah, well, to me, and I just have to tell you, so I was in Peru in February, and I was there finishing up a course and working with the shaman, and, you know, we were taking off the beaten path and going on all these beautiful hikes and these huge mountains, and it was just fabulous. And we would stop and do these meditations, and so I was doing this meditation literally on like the side of this steep mountain. Like I looked over the edge and I could have fallen off. It was like that crazy. And the view was just these gorgeous mountains. And when I finished actually during the meditation, I kept hearing the word limitless. And I was doing some rebranding at the time for my company, and I kept hearing that word, and then I opened my eyes, and it was just this amazing feeling, like I could fly. Now, I didn't really, you know, I wasn't going to jump off and try and fly, but just that limitless feeling of like, we can do anything, you know, we can be anything, we can have anything. And so to me, that word just symbolizes, you know, everything I believe in, what I strive for myself and to help my clients with. And it's just about the freedom, you know, and just knowing that we can create anything that we want, and we can tap into that universal law and just, you know, just be limitless, create anything. So I love it. I love that word.
Limitless. It's a beautiful word, because, you know, one of the things, and I have to confess, I mean, we all go through big challenges in our life in chaos. And I know that I have experienced it, and I'm still experiencing it, but nothing stops me. Nothing stops me. People are like, you amaze me, you know? They're like, you're going through all this hard challenges and you keep going and going and going. When do you stop? Or when do you sleep? And you know what? I just keep going because I feel that if I'm living, then I'm going to live like it's my last day. You know, and I love that word that you're using, limitless. You know, you have no limits. We really don't. And if we set
really
any limits,
yeah. And we're capable of so much. You know, we have so much potential, and you know, I was just gonna say, I really feel like that's what's missing with a lot of the teaching out there on the spiritual laws, that it's going to be easy. You know, there's going to be bumps. There's going to be lessons we need to learn, beliefs we have to dig out, which is hard. I mean, we've had our whole lives of growing up with these beliefs, and when you start shifting your beliefs, everything in your environment starts to shift too, right? Relationships, friendships, you know, how you operate your business, how you make decisions, it all shifts. And, you know, I think that some of those teachings make it seem like it's really easy. And to me, really, the personal development piece is missing, because that's where the growth is. And, you know, if we can find the lesson in what's coming up for us and the silver lining, then it's much easier to move through some of those tougher things.
Exactly. And I think that what happens is that we're growing up and we're being shaped and programmed to believe that this perfect world exists. So then when we don't live in that perfect world and something doesn't go as we planned, then everything just kind of falls apart for us. And then we feel like we're not being successful, we can't achieve our goals, but we really forget to celebrate even the smallest successes that we have, because our brain is always planning and always looking towards the future, that even if we achieve something right now, our belief is, oh my God, I haven't even been successful.
Right.
Don't you think?
That's so true. And it's always like striving for that level, like when I get there, instead of just, you know, choosing each day what's going to make us happy. And like you said, celebrating those successes, that is so huge. And that's what builds momentum too.
Exactly. So if you have any questions out there, you can go ahead and post them in the chat room, and we'll be glad to answer any of your questions that you might have. If you're listening to the replay, then we ask that you join us on Facebook. I have Match Entrepreneurs Facebook page where you can ask questions. I also have my spiritual journey page if you're more into spirituality, and I'll invite Chris to both of them, and if you have any questions for her, she will be able to see the questions there as well. And you can also reach you. Where can they reach you? You want to tell them your website? I know we're not finished. I just want her to kind of let you know where you could reach her and communicate with her.
Yeah, and I'm happy to answer any questions too in the groups that you have, so that's great. Yeah, so if you want to connect with me further or check out what I'm all about, you can just go to my website. It's chrisatley.com, and Chris is C-H-R-I-S, and Atley's A-T-L-E-Y, and .com. And I do have a Live Limitless guide, which comes with, it's free on my website, and it comes with a few different bonuses and gifts, and one of them is on, you know, how to build a lucrative and lifestyle-friendly business. There's an audio training for that. There's a quiz, so you can find out where you're at in your business right now and how to best move forward, and then access to my weekly articles, which are always geared to help you shift your perspective and move forward and really have that life that you're wanting. Sometimes it's on mindset, sometimes it's on strategy, and it's always geared to help you move forward. So you can find that through the homepage, or you can just add a / with the word guide on the end. So chrisatley.com / guide, if you want to have access to that.
Okay, so that would be great if you continue to get in touch with us. Now, for those of you that are online or you're listening to the replay, I always talk to you about the code for the day, and I haven't forgotten. I know that I kind of started, talking about being late because I was rushing from San Antonio to be able to be on this live stream with Chris Atlee. Now, just to give you the code for today, you need to understand that today is August the 28th. So when you're looking at the number 8, it deals with business. And today we have been talking about business and spirituality. So when you combine the mind and the body and the spirituality, and you begin to understand the codes, the numbers, and you begin to plan around the numbers, timing is important. It's crucial. So if you know how to plan around the numbers that you're looking at, and you're going to be able to see that you're more successful, and you'll be able to understand why you were not successful also, because some of those days that sometimes we plan around, they have different energies and they have different purpose in our lives, and they affect us in different ways. But the 8 is magical when it comes to business and money, and especially when you combine it with spirituality. Now the 28 is very, very, very strong because you add the 2 and the 8 and it gives you a 10. And the 10 is instant manifestation. So today, you're listening to Chris Atlee and you're listening to my conversations as well. So if you bring everything together and you want to begin to instantly manifest things in your life, then you need to be able to combine your mind, your body, and your spirit, and be able to live on purpose so that you feel self-actualized and fulfilled. And the only way that you can actually manifest, I have to say that we manifest even when it's negative. But if you really want to manifest what you want, you have to tap into those belief systems. You have to tap into those values that you have. And sometimes we can't do it alone. I have my own coach. Chris has her own coaches. So connect with Chris so that she can assist you, or connect with me. I do various other things that I can assist you, like astronumerology. That is my passion. Let me go ahead and put her webpage again so you could actually look at it while we are talking. Anything else that you would like to share, Chris?
I was just going to say I loved what you just shared. I don't know a lot about numerology, so that was so cool. And, on my website, actually, as part of my logo, I have the sideways 8, which is the infinity sign, to me is about being limitless again. But I love what you just said, what the 8 means. So that is so cool.
It's powerful. Yeah, it's a powerful number. If anybody's out there right now and you want to give me your birthday, I'll give you your personal energy number. It's important that you know what energy number you're living this whole year from your birthday to your next birthday. It's really going to shift. Right now, for example, I have the number 16. Which adds to 7, which means I have to go within in so many ways. I have to meditate. I have to get all my answers within myself. There's a lot of lessons with the number 16, which I am experiencing. Oh my God, if you want to talk about chaos, I'm living it. But you know what? I never give up. I never give up. So go ahead and give me your birthday if you want. Text, put it in the chat box if you like, and then maybe even Chris can assist you if you like. Let me write it here in the chat room because many times the delay is a little bit later. Don't give me your year. Give me the month of the month you were born and the day you were born. Okay? And then I can give you your personal energy number. What's yours, Chris, by the way, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure. So the day and then, or the month and then the day?
Mm-hmm.
So it's September 09 and 30.
Oh, wow.
Do you need?
No, that's fine, just with that. So you have a number 20. So this whole year from your birth, well, you're going to have a birthday. So next year, really, you're going to be developing a lot of new friends. You're going to be expanding into group consciousness, bigger groups, larger audience. It's a beautiful number to have. Right now, you are in 18 and the 9. You're doing a lot of closure of a lot of old business, a lot of old stuff in your life. All that is going to be past. You're going to put a lot of things behind you at the end of this month, going towards next month. So it's a beautiful thing. A lot of your knowledge that you have, it's all coming together, and it's going to come together for you on your birthday, September 30th, 2015. Beautiful year, beautiful energy, and wow, I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
And I just want to share that is so timely because I just made a huge dream come to life, which was moving to the beach. And moving from Canada, for those of you who didn't catch on that I'm Canadian, the outs and abouts probably gave me away. You can't just pick up and move to the U.S. So it involves the visas, and it's a whole process. And talk about limiting beliefs. We lived right near family, and that took a while for me to feel okay with following dreams and having the courage and that sort of thing. And then so we moved here to inland California about 4 years ago. And that was kind of a stepping stone for us. And we always had the intention of getting to the beach. And we just finally made that happen. It was about not even 6 weeks ago. Oh, and wow. It's just amazing, being in the energy of realizing such a major dream. For me, this is just so much bigger than growing my business, and which helped me to move here, but which is why I call it, funding your dreams. But it's just such an energy shift with being here, and it sounds kind of cheesy, but I just really feel complete, and just, I think I still have sand in my toes from my walk this morning with the dog, and I've just been creating all these new programs that I'm so excited about that combine the beach and business, and so it makes a lot of sense with what you're saying. Lots of new things happening with realizing this dream.
Oh wow, it is.
Yeah.
So amazing number, and good luck, because you have an amazing year to come, and you're going to have a huge support system and work with large groups of people. Wow. Yay. Good for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good for you. Now, somebody else sent me their number, and it's an 8. Like I said, the 8 is business. So if you're not an entrepreneur, you need to go into that field or tap into that energy. At whatever you're doing, let's say if you're a nurse, then you can become a health entrepreneur or something, because the 8 has to do with business, and then the 10, like I mentioned, it's instant manifestation. So be careful, because you can immediately manifest anything, whether it's negative or positive. So you really have to watch your thoughts. And then your birthday, I mean, it was August 10th. So 2015, it adds to a 17. Beautiful number. Again, it goes into the number 8. That means that this year, this whole year, you have an opportunity, especially after the retrograde that we're going to have next month. It's going to be huge. After all that happens and all that energy that passes us, you could begin to make a lot of money. So begin to work with your beliefs, begin to tap into your values, shift some of them that if they're not working, so that you can actually make the money that you want to make, because you're there. I wish I had those numbers. I mean, I can make money, but I can honestly tell you that you are going to be making the money that you want if you plan it right. Okay? And if you shift those beliefs. So I hope this helps you. Do you want to add anything, Chris?
Oh, I'm just fascinated learning about it. I'm thinking of, all my family birth dates. I'm gonna have to email you later.
Sure.
So cool.
Sure, beautiful. But anyways, I know that it was wonderful connecting with you and connecting with all our audience out there. We have people from different areas across the country. So thank you for joining us. Like I said, I have Chris Atley with me today. I'm Angelica Underwood. I will be in Houston. For those of you that will be in Houston, I will be there November 14th through the 16th. I have a big event here in November. So if you want to come and connect with me, I will be here. And I send my love to all of you. And you know what? I always say, think big, be weird, be amazing, and just step into your greatness. You have to step into your greatness. Anything else, Chris, before we end our call? It was wonderful being here with you.
You too. And yeah, I love what you just said. And I would just add in that, you're worth it, you deserve it, and the sky is the limit. So just make the decision to go for it. Let yourself dream big and go for it.
Exactly. So anyways, lots of hugs to all of you that are all out there, and know that every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, I'm here. Mondays at 6 p.m. Central, I have my live radio show. Connect with me. I bring wonderful experts that have secret nuggets to help you move to the next level. So again, be amazing, be great, and step into your greatness, because you have the power to be who you want to be, and it's up to you. So lots of hugs. Thank you, Chris, and I will see you all
Thanks,
next
Angelica.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.